More music coming your way on MTV. Deborah Harry, Great White, Tracy Chapman. Right now, we're going to get down with a little bit of Bonham. Wait for you.
Bonham, yes.
Halloween Day. Well,
I played this at
Halloween
Jam like
it?
4 years ago.
The 1st of November. Hey, Page of the Punch, first day of the month. Hey, now I like it.
I want you to notice there's rhythmic displacement in the verse riff. Wait for it.
Okay.
It doesn't actually change time signatures.
In the 80s guitar virtuosity. Well, now we've gone too fast. Like, what was that? The Power Station song we were going to cover one time?
Yeah.
That just had like 3 notes on a slide guitar on the solo. Oh, that's right. This is
what the hell was the name of that band?
Peak,
The Firm.
The Firm. Thank you. This is peak heroin, Jimmy Page.
No, more delay. Do you have any more delay units?
Yeah.
How many more delay units
I was
can
wondering
we get in this room?
if they were using the extra delay and backwards reverb on the vocalist to make him sound less like Robert Plant or more like Robert Plant.
These guys...
He is using a left-handed tremolo bar, I think. Like it's hanging down from the bass side. Oh, no, I'm wrong. No, I can't tell. This is... I can't tell. It's too shiny and chromy. I can't tell where that... The important detail is...
I feel like they toured with that band that always also gets compared to Zeppelin from this era. Not Greta Van Fleet, but the other one.
Yeah, Kingdom Come.
Kingdom Come.
Yeah, they had to have.
They must have.
Or they legally couldn't be in the same room with each other.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Or they've suspiciously never been seen in the same room with each other. And nobody knows actually why.
I mean, it's not like any of these guys have definable features at all. Like, they do look like every other band at the time that wasn't totally famous.
That wasn't Europe.
Like, you could see they're not Motley Crue. They're not Poison.
Yeah, right.
Like, those guys are much more recognizable sort of individual
what is
looks.
This video?
Debbie Harry.
This is on Headbangers Ball? Or this is...
Or there's this... No, this was not... Because they played, like, Great White and Tracy Bonham before this. Tracy Chapman before this.
What?
I think that's what the announcer was saying.
Oh.
Right when it cut in, I think she was saying something about Great White and Tracy Chapman.
Could you give me a Valley Art Stratocaster with EMGs in it and a Roland JC 120?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my God. So we're going from one of the pioneering voices in punk and new wave to sounding as much like Debbie Gibson as possible. Hey, silly man crawling out of the garbage. You want to be my new lead guitar player?
Isn't that how bands are formed?
I think so.
That's how
I
bands
mean,
are made.
in the CBGB era, literally that kind of was what happened, but not at this era.
Debbie Harry just found guys in the trash.
Yeah.
It was just like, hey.
And
I think this might be
what
a Debbie Gibson song.
What model of Yamaha synthesizer do you think that drum kit is?
DX11.
DX11?
Yeah.
I knew it had a DX in front of it.
Yeah. Best guitar sound I've ever heard. That's a Yamaha DX11 on a banjo playing a banjo patch.
Yes.
Is what that is.
Oh my God. All right.
A Freddie Krueger glove. Wow.
Wow. She is very attractive.
God, I don't get it.
Oh, dude. I don't know, man.
I don't get it.
I didn't quite get it until I watched her in Videodrome. She's very nude and very sexy in that David Cronenberg film. But I get it in I get it more in a rock and roll way. the older pictures of her in the 70s, I dig more. But
I get it in like the iconic way. Like I get that she's super iconic, and like I get what she did
as a rock singer and as a fashion plate. She did a great job of being an icon. I dig. I personally, this look she's got is just a look that I like.
Yeah,
it's that all that hair piled up on top and a kind of a, I don't know, black dress that's a kind of like art school chick, drama nerd. I don't know why that does it for me, but maybe because I never saw art school chicks and drama nerds that were that attractive.
Yeah,
they never quite.
It's just it's not like it's not. I don't know. It's not polished enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm broken.
In
Clearly.
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina,
Okay.
a mother of two receives a visit from a rap musician. Soon she is swilling funky Cold Medina and living large with $5,000 in cash.
Oh,
In
right.
Winter Haven, Florida,
This is a competition that they were running on MTV at the time.
An offer to change her miserable life. Within weeks, she is whisked away to a whole new world of her choice, more than 15 miles away.
Wow, I hope that wasn't the
In
prize
Richmond,
car.
Virginia, a bartender abruptly acquires the Batmobile, a vehicle with
What?
$25,000 under the hood and the same first two letters as his vocation. These events that so-called scientists dismiss as mere evidence of the occult all
Oh, so it was like
striking characteristic.
Tone Loc going
The
around
people
making people's
involved
lives
are
better?
MTV contest winners.
My miserable life? Not any longer.
I want $25,000.
The eerie, inescapable truth. People
Wow.
really win on MTV.
People
Wow.
really do win on MTV.
MTV like promoting themselves like your local stupid radio station. Like, stay tuned because you might win some money.
Oh, 100%.
If we see the sticker, the
Right.
KUBE sticker when a prize van comes around. My most hated tone ever.
With one thing in mind.
Those horn patches.
If you really want it,
Is that Bo?
you can. Adidas.
Bo Jackson have an Adidas
I didn't
deal?
mean to do it. I'm so sorry.
Women's secret confessions.
Yes!
All real, all true.
Call
It
him.
was horrible.
Call the number.
I was out of control.
Listen to women bearing their souls.
Forgive me.
What?
Secret confessions of their best
Oh,
friends
MTV.
who've been
Wait.
$2 the first minute.
Only 45 cents for every minute after that?
Call 'em up.
That's really cheap.
Call him up.
For women only.
For women only.
I don't know that you can legally enforce that.
Remember, 1957.
I was so waiting for that to be like a rap video.
I thought so too. I think I watched this one is the only reason that I knew that was the
Yeah, oh, wow.
commercial. I think I watched
with a
this
Fiesta Bowl win
section
over
of
Miami
this.
Oh
to
my
take
God.
the national championship, and the Sporting News was there. Yes, wherever
The
great games
Sporting
are
News.
played, the Sporting News is there for you,
so, like,
bringing you America's most
Sports
complete
Illustrated
coverage
without
of
the free
football,
phone? No
baseball,
thanks.
basketball, and hockey.
No,
The Sporting
so no
News,
free
where
phone
great
and
things
no,
happen.
no swimsuit
swimsuit
edition.
Don't
Yeah,
let them happen
I wonder why the
without you.
Sporting News went
Call
belly
now.
up.
Subscribe
I wonder why we're
now
not
at the
talking about
lowest
the
rate
Sporting
anywhere,
News anymore.
with convenient delivery right
I
to
bet that
your
was
door.
one for gamblers.
Call
I bet Sporting News was
1-800-535.
more for
Oh,
people
probably,
making bets
yeah,
on
right.
bets.
The Sporting News for 4 payments
Your-
of just
your
$4.99. You'll save
gambling addicted
69% off the
uncle in
cover
Long
price,
Island
40% off the regular subscription rate. You can't get a better
that
deal.
won't be quiet
Call
during
now.
Thanksgiving because he's screaming about the
9,000. That's
5 hundo he just lost on the
9,000.
Buccaneers game. Oh dear. Commercial or music video? I'm saying commercial still. Nope, I'm wrong. Oh, this is that song that Typo Negative covered. This is the exact same drum sound as the last, the bottom video. I've never seen what this band looks like. I barely knew what they sound like. Whenever I saw the name Camper Van Beethoven, I always thought of Fifth of Beethoven, that disco song. Wasn't there like a disco remix of a Beethoven hit?
Oh, maybe.
What am I thinking of? Oh well. So this is. It's like that band. Sounds like that band Cracker.
I was gonna say this sounds like Weezer or Cracker or Ween
Cracker was
or
the
one
one
of those
that-
fucking bands that
Stay
I.
with you, girl.
Yeah.
Let me know. It sounds exactly like that. I'm gonna go with. I don't know. Is this a New York band or is this a European band? I mean, if they're American, I'm saying New York or Massachusetts, like Boston. I know it's a stretch to say Massachusetts and then Boston, but
Thank you.
but
Yeah.
yes. Where in Massachusetts, Jay?
Right. Upper Massachusetts.
Upper Massachusetts.
I think that's a Fender lead too.
Again,
Thank you for playing us the hook. Thank
again,
you for
someone who went to
Yeah,
Berklee
right.
School of Music
Right,
to
right.
play these 3 stupid notes over and over again. Yeah, man. Not a great time for Fender guitars. The more traditionally Fender-looking Fender guitars at this time are being made in Japan,
Yeah.
and no one likes them. Like, no one's like, oh, that stupid Japanese Fender crap, don't buy that. Now you go back to the 80s, and like, the only legit-looking
Yeah.
Fender Strats were the Squires. Yeah, we're too busy outfitting our snazzy new Fenders with really clunky tremolos and new pickups that no one will ever want to buy aftermarket, and you won't be able to replace when they go bad on you in about 20 years either. You'll have to route out the pick guard and put a real Strat pickup in there. Like, these are the bands I don't get because they're not quirky enough to be like the Dead Milkmen.
And they're not like
they
weren't sort of grungy enough to be a grunge band yet.
No. And they're not clever like they're not obtuse like the Talking Heads, where I go, well, I don't get it, but somebody does. So
Right.
good for them.
I mean, this is obviously their
One song,
single.
right? I wonder if I looked up Cracker if it's just the same singer as this, because he sounds exactly like him, and he also only had 1 hit. I don't know, but then again, these guys don't look all that young.
But this is 89.
Yeah, well, or maybe later. Who knows?
Or maybe, yeah.
Maybe 90, like it said, but it also this seems like a band that probably would have been playing the same clubs as. Okay, so it's before they put the directors on.
Key Lime Pie, Virgin Records.
Who's the
Fucking
not the
signed to
Replacements,
Virgin, no shit.
but the Smithereens. I imagine them playing shows with the Smithereens.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, they wouldn't be if they played a show with the Replacements. They probably would have run away screaming and had all their gear smashed by that band, very drunkenly. Great White, the Angle song.
Oh, this is what I. Oh. Well, this is unbearable. Let's turn it up.
Yep. Sweetser Avenue. There's no Saltzer Avenue.
Like, remember the video with the mermaid? Go back to that.
No, that one I don't think I ever saw.
Oh, the Rock Me video?
No.
You've never seen Rock Me?
No.
Oh, dude.
I mean,
first of all,
I can't say in
what
the last
tremendous song.
I can't say in the last 12 years of us watching YouTube videos that I've never seen.
Oh yeah, no.
I have no recollection, considering the state I was in when we'd come home from the Lime and put on
true.
YouTube videos. I may have seen it.
That's true.
But then again, usually we'd watch videos that you were trying to shoot for that I wasn't familiar with the song, right? Like, we'd go on deep dives and stuff that was like B-roll, C-roll, not the songs we just heard our friends play.
Right.
Because Rock Me was one of them.
Iron Dragon covered Rock Me and
yeah.
messed up the Q section because there's 47 sections in that song.
There are.
And, like, everyone is different. That song is a fucking maze, honestly. Like, that song is hard as shit to play.
When does this song start? I think we're like a minute and a half into
the intro?
The prologue.
Like, we're still in the intro?
Like the Scorpions could have put 7 ballads in here by now.
Yeah.
Time after time. There's a lot of Klaus's moves I'm hearing. Lou Diamond Phillips
Yep.
on, what is that, the bass player?
Oh yeah. The bass player is the only brunette in the band ever. Thanks, Poison.
Was there a girl playing this part originally when the video started? Was it
I
him?
thought it was the. I
I thought it was like Tina Yothers or something.
Nice pull, Tina Yothers. Well done,
For
sir.
all you kids out there.
Jesus Christ. Fucking Tina Yothers. Wow. I'm so proud of you right now. And finally, Mark Kendall.
Okay, wait. Is that shirt from the MTV Rock and Jock Softball Challenge?
Of course it is.
Did I forget what they called the teams?
That just says it just says Rocker on it.
But like I think they might have had like the Rockers versus the Rollers. We got to look that up later. Figure that out, because by the time I started, I had MTV. It was a lot more athletes and a lot fewer guys with ponytails. They had a lot more like rappers. They had like MC Hammer, like Dave Justice, but they'd have like one of the guys from Nelson.
One of the guys from Nelson?
I think they had a guy from Nelson the first year I saw the Rock and Jock Softball Challenge. Or maybe they had them both. Maybe they had one against the other. I don't remember.
Or maybe they switched out when they got tired.
That's one, yeah. They just snuck in.
They just didn't
Go
know.
back under the bleachers and get another blowjob.
Right?
There's, like, Dan Cortez put out a book recently, and he's only done two things in his life, MTV Sports and an appearance on Seinfeld. And he was being interviewed by Jim Norton and Sam Roberts about it. And he had no stories beyond those experiences that he said are in the book. But he said the early days of MTV Sports, it was just like, they just gave us a camera and let us go do stuff. And we had to make a lot of it up, and it was very spontaneous. And it seemed like it was kind of like the Wild West until it got to a certain level of popularity. And then it's like, oh, we need to sort of figure out how to structure this and tell you what to say or whatever. But it seems like it would have been a shitload of fun, like that whole Pauly Shore era.
I was gone. Like at that point, I was gone. Like I was.
But that song never started. This song is over already.
Yeah, we missed. It was the intro it was 6 minutes of an intro.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a 6-minute song, and I can't believe it's already not begun.
Yeah.
Your news.
Oh, good. Oh, fuck yes.
Please.
Kurt Loder.
It's at night though. This is
Wait, everybody. I need time for a quick aside, a tangent, a side quest, if you will, because MTV News just shared back-to-back images of Living Colour and Mick Jagger, which reminded me that this era of MTV and MTV News was definitely reeling from the recent events of the Rolling Stones asking Living Colour and Guns N' Roses to open for them for 4 days in Hollywood. Mick Jagger had actually liked Living Colour so much that he went to see them do their live recording at CBGB, and I guess he had done a couple of demos for them. He really did work to raise people's awareness of them to a higher level at the time. But you know who else had played CBGB for the one and only time around this era was Guns N' Roses. I guess they debuted acoustic material for Lies at a show there around, I don't know, 88 or 89. Which is sort of where this starts to come together, because they were asked to open the shows for the Rolling Stones as well as Living Colour, who weren't really big on one of the songs from Lies called 1 in a Million. I don't think you'll find it on the new releases of the reissues of the album because of its use of racial slurs and homophobic slurs and things like that. Vernon Reid of Living Colour gave a speech during their set decrying the use of the N-word from anyone that claims not to be a racist. And Guns N' Roses were supposed to go on right after that, or they thought they were, but Axl didn't show up. So their management had to send police to drag him out in handcuffs if need be, Axl, from the room he was staying in and bring him with lights flashing to the show. So during this performance, since he probably had no intention of really showing up for the gigs because he was so angry about Steven Adler and Slash being addicted to heroin, he hadn't been there for rehearsals to get a sort of a look at the stage layout, and therefore, in the middle of their show, he goes careening off the edge of the stage into the photographer's pit in the middle of singing Out to Get Me, which is hilarious. But he also wanted to fire back at anyone calling him a racist, and he goes into a lengthy rant you can look up for yourselves, basically saying he's not racist or homophobic or xenophobic, and then he goes on to use a bunch of racist, homophobic, and xenophobic stereotypes and says, if you're not one of those kinds, then I don't have a problem with you. He also said this is probably going to be the last Guns N' Roses show ever because of certain people in their organization dancing too much with Mr. Brownstone. The next night, Slash was forced to apologize to the crowd for his drug use and tell them not to do hard drugs because Axl said he wouldn't continue with the band unless he did. Living Colour, on the other hand, seems like they had a great time at these 4 shows, played really, really well, went over big with the crowd, and used footage of them playing and singing It's Only Rock and Roll live on their first VHS release for the Vivid album and the discussion of the tour that came after it. I guess in fairness, I should point out, this incident was not the first time Axl tried to no-show Guns N' Roses gigs. He did the same for gigs when GNR were opening for Alice Cooper and gigs opening for Iron Maiden on the Seventh Son of a Seventh Son tour. So that prima donna attitude and behavior that he got famous for during the Use Your Illusion era had been there since the beginning, pretty much.
Okay, now side questions over. It's time to go back to the regular program with Dan and Jack. This is the B Squad.
Interviews with artists.
No, I never thought it was really good, but I do think I'm getting better.
Good videos.
Good videos. Thanks for telling us.
The news at night can't get by on just being the news. It has to be videos.
Thursday, 8:30, 7:30 Central.
Oh my God.
MTV News at Night.
I want whatever microphone preamp that guy was using.
Oh shit! Vinnie Moore. This is the Vinnie Moore video. This is the Vinnie Moore commercial.
Delivery for Joy Weber? Call 1-900-HOT-ROCK to play the Pepsi Billboard Rock Trivia Game, and you could be an instant winner. The Pepsi machine for Joy Weber? Yeah! 1-900-HOT-ROCK could win you your own Pepsi vending machine. Or the annual jackpot prize, a year's supply of Pepsi. And a week on tour with the year's hottest rock band. 99 cents.
When do you get to win Vinnie Moore?
Oh no, this isn't it. This isn't it. It was earlier.
If you start subscribing to Playboy magazine,
Look who it is.
You could have one small problem.
Is that a Baldwin?
No.
That's Chris Evans.
You can't throw him away. I mean, could you throw out?
I don't actually know dude's name, but he was the lead on a comedy that
Subscribe now,
was
and this Playmate video is yours free. A year of Playboy for only
was
$26, and the Playmate video free.
$26? Yeah, they're practically giving it away.
It was. I don't remember what it was called, but it was sort of the alternative on another channel to
Richard Lewis for Rolling Stone
Richard
magazine.
Lewis. It was an alternative on another channel to Married with Children. It was in that same sort of weird vibe.
But it was like cheaper than Fox.
It was cheaper than Fox, and
so it wasn't like Herman's Head.
He was the dad, and he had a puppet that lived in the basement that would talk to him. It was played by Bobcat Goldthwait.
I don't remember what it was called, but yeah, it was on like a UHF station.
Yes,
and I think up here it was channel 12 or 22.
And Chick. And the show,
for only $19.95. Save 60%
married
off the cover price.
Plush of the classic portraits, 48 incredible
two commas
covers that span over 20 years of rock
God
and roll.
damn it, I can't remember people's names.
Free. I swear.
We listened to his podcast for the longest time, and he would go on and on about how marriage was the best thing.
Jay Moore.
Yeah. She married Jay Moore. Nikki.
Call 1-800-228-6600.
Yes, Nikki Cox. Nikki Cox, because Nikki Cox married Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yes,
and Bobcat Goldthwait, and that's how they met, was on that show.
And he had the stories. It's funny. Like, I just left a Facebook message on some of this comedian from Austin. He made some comment about something, and I tied it into Jay Moore had a story about Bobcat Goldthwait yelling at Nikki Cox at Thanksgiving for not cooking his tofurkey properly.
Yes, thank fuck we got there. That's what I was hoping for.
And that he was calling clubs wherever Jay Moore was going on tour and buying extra tickets over the phone so there'd be empty seats in the house.
Oh, that's amazing.
Which Bobcat Goldthwait staunchly denies. And for the longest time, I thought Jay Moore was the more sensible of the two. And then now that things have happened the way they have, I don't know. Because clearly Nikki Cox went off the deep end and Jay Moore got divorced. And maybe everything she told him was BS,
Oh,
and
yeah,
maybe
I
Bobcat's
don't know.
maybe Bobcat's the sane one after all these years.
Well,
here we go. This is the beginning of an era of MTV videos, black and white flashes of poor people doing drugs.
Yep.
This to be
and shot on film.
shot on
obviously.
film to be also done on the Home Sweet Home remake video.
Yes.
The grim and gritty Home Sweet Home remake video from '92 or '3 or whatever it was.
You're right.
Not the fun one. Yeah. This is we can't talk a lot of trash about Tracy Chapman. She's got a lot of integrity as a songwriter, and it's just that but I never listened to her. I never heard a lot of tunes in her voice. Like, if you were into Tracy Chapman, you were a boring white couple that I babysat for in the early '90s.
Right.
If you had this album, you then bought the first REM album you bought was Out of Time, and you bought the 10,000 Maniacs Unplugged special soundtrack.
Oh, food's here.
Hot damn. Those are good places, any. As in, they left it on the doorstep?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, listeners and viewers, you're welcome.
Good times, everybody.